Hey there guys, John here bringing you another news update for the world of Cardfight Vanguard. So, first off, I know my setup looks a little different here, but please bear with me. Going through some changes over here at my house, and might be a little temporary setup for the time being while I go over some of the Vanguard news. Another reason why I've been also away from the channel. Well, that and aside, of course, the release of Overdress has gotten us a lot of excitement within our team. So, we're very excited to be bringing you guys more Overdress content in the future, but that is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to today's news, guys. They have announced what I personally think, a game-changing card for both the V Premium as well as Premium sets. Of course, I am talking about the new Heal Guardians. We're going to be going over that as well as a couple of cards that they announced for D-BT02 for the new Overdress set that is going to be coming out within the coming months. And remember guys, if you enjoyed this style of content, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. But I'm just going to be jumping right into the news because we have a lot to talk about. So let's just talk about the new mechanic right out of the gate, guys. So they announced for the new V Collection set that they're going to be creating a new heal trigger, and that heal trigger is called the Heal Guardians. So for those who don't know, Heal Guardians are of course a new trigger type that are grade 3s, which to me is a huge deal. I know our buddy Dan is going to be going crazy because, hey, look, it's a grade 3 heal trigger for Daikaiser. Oh boy, buddy, good job for you. Anyway, what's exciting about this is that, first off, if you look at the card over here, it has a 15k shield as opposed to a 20k shield. So in that traditional sense, there is not as much guard power as, say, a vanilla heal trigger. However, what you benefit off of that is the effects of the Heal Guardian itself. So, the Heal Guardian states that when it's placed on the Guardian Circle from your hand, if you have not ridden on a grade 3 or greater during this fight, you can perform one of the two following effects. You choose one of your Vanguards, and it gets plus 10,000 power until the end of battle. So, right off the bat, guys, it is a strong card to help stop rush decks completely. So, you know, if we're talking about just Premium as a whole, Tachikaze is definitely one of those decks that likes to rush super early game and then try to finish you off with Anger Blader. And this card kind of helps facilitate that by stopping super big beat sticks and just makes you a plus 10k body on the board, which is very nice. And then its other ability is also really unique in that you choose one of your opponent's units and it gets critical -2 until the end of the battle. Now, what's interesting about this particular skill is that, say you're going against a certain boogeyman of the V format. Of course, I am talking about Gabrielle, but with Gabrielle, the way it's supposed to work is that you're supposed to build up a large amount of criticals onto your Hamiel, swing with a large Hamiel, and they can't perfect guard it, essentially one-shotting your opponent. This card over here stops that completely. Well, to an extent. It helps reduce the amount of critical, which is nice, so it allows for less one-shotting potential, I guess, and it allows for more flexibility when it comes to the overall guarding potential for you as the opponent. It's a very interesting, unique mechanic. And not only that, but the fact that it's also a grade 3 means it can also be used as a pitch for strat in the premium format. So that's another benefit off of that. The 15k shield does kind of hurt when you're compensating for the later part of the game. But if you're using it for a G Guardian, then it, you know, essentially becomes even a more powerful shield if you're using it for certain G Guardian effects. I mean, I know personally for Kagero, if I'm pitching a heal anyway, it's going to be for a Denial Griffin anyway. So it doesn't matter to me what the shield value is that I'm pitching for, so long as I get the actual G Guardian itself. I know for other clans it's going to be a little different. Say, for example, you know, other cards like Murakumo and or stuff like Nubatama, I know they have specific shields that don't benefit as much and prefer the vanilla heal triggers for the 20k shield, but time will tell to see where that lies in that regard. Anyway, there's still one more effect for this card, which is absolutely insane, and that is when it is placed on rearguard circle from hand. If you have 0 cards in your damage zone, you put the top card of your deck into the damage zone. So guys, this is a Bobo, a trigger Bobo. For those who don't know, Bobo is a Krell elemental card that essentially says, on GB1, you may call Bobo, and when you do, you may countercharge 1, soul charge 1, and deal yourself damage. So if you're playing against an opponent, a very popular tactic when it comes to Premium in general is to damage deny. It is somewhat popular as well in the V Premium aspect as well when it comes to certain decks, but for Premium specifically, it is a way to say, if I can't get the GB1 from Bobo, I can still get a Counterblast off of the Heal Guardian over here. So, it's both good and bad, in my opinion. This, to me, definitely is setting some red flags that, Bushiroad is going to be addressing some of the key problem cards in the premium format. Because if they let this, along with stuff like New Dio lie around, this is just giving more power to that deck, and that deck, as it is absolutely insane. Even if you were to damage deny the New Dio player, they could just call down their Hero Guardian, deal themselves a damage, then go Hugo crazy. Yeah, so here's hoping that this is just a premonition of what they will be banning in the future. But overall, this card to me is super, super exciting. It opens up so much more potential when it comes to deck building in general, and it allows this pace of Vanguard, at least in the V and the premium sense, to help slow down the format. Because if you think about it, a lot of the way that Vanguard has been playing as of late when it comes to V premium as well as premium, most of the games are ending by first grade 3 ride, or if you're going second, perhaps the second grade 3 ride. And that to me doesn't seem as fun. Anyway, yeah, hopefully this card is going to address the problem cards and the problematic game state as it is for the two formats, but time will tell. Overall though, this is just one Heal Guardian, and I'm excited to see if maybe we'll get different Heal Guardian effects. I don't think so now that I'm thinking about it, but who knows. Also, bonus fun fact, I just thought about this while recording. There is a Cray Elemental, actually, a Stride Cray Elemental that helps, quote-unquote, with these, because if you think about it, it is I'll put it on the screen right now, but it is a 10k, quote-unquote, support Cray Elemental, plus it gets heal triggers back. So, I don't know. Think of that what you will. It's interesting. Super cool. Let me know in the comments down below. Moving on from the shenanigans that is the Heal Guardian, let's talk about some Overdress news as well. So they did announce 4 new cards that are going to be coming out in D-BT02. As well, I believe last night, or it might have been a few nights before that, they actually showed their commercial for D-BT02 itself. And fun fact for me, at least, because I am, super excited about Dragon Empire, I'm all in on Dragon Empire, is that the new Verena card over here is a grade 2. So I'm excited to see what the effect is going to be. Hopefully it is more empowered for Overdress in itself, help give it a little more of an edge when it comes to other decks in the format. But, time will tell. I'm just excited that, it is a grade 2, so it's interesting that it's not going to be something like a grade 3, and therefore you wouldn't need to take out Verena Valiente. Verena Valiente can still be a card that you're going to keep. And this is just another Verena option card that you can play when it comes to your grade 2 slot. And because, we have a thing like a ride deck, it can, coherently go in with Verena and Verena Arcs as it stands right now. But we'll see when it comes to the actual effect being shown off in the future. Anyway, let's go over the first card that they revealed, and that is the Cardinal Nord Thumbreena. So, this card is very interesting for Orphis strategy in general, because as it stands right now, the deck itself is very quote-unquote vanilla, generic. It's very straightforward. You're just essentially counterblasting to, calling your tokens, having a token on board, keeping cards in hand, and then swinging with your tokens and see what happens. This, however, dictates that, while it does still play to that playstyle, it helps boost the Shadow Army tokens as they are, as well as being able to gain additional resources to your hand. Being able to hit harder and hit faster is really nice, and you don't have to expend all of your counterblasts in one turn just to flood your board with Shadow Army tokens and just keep it vanilla as it is. So it helps. It's an additional option card, and I like that. So overall, very nice card. After that is, of course, their triple rare, which is a grade 2 called Cardinal Draco Alverded, I believe its name is. So actually, for me personally, this is a very, very good card for the Orphis strategy, just for the sheer and simple fact that, if you're, for some reason, not being able to call as many Shadow Army tokens as you can, this is a solid beater in its own right as well, making itself a 15k beater plus an additional 15. It's essentially another Shadow Army token when you think about it, and as well as the fact that it allows you to control the board with things such as this, and as well as In the Darkness Nobody Knows, which is your grade 3 set order. So it allows for more flexibility in Orphis, becoming less and less of just a vanilla strategy and having more options and becoming a nice control deck by the looks of it. So I'm very excited to see where they're going to go from here. And then moving right along, guys, let us talk about now the Dark States support. More specifically, let us talk about Final Rush Bruce. So the first card we're going to be talking about is a grade 1 for them, and that is the Diablos Madonna Mabel. Her effect reads, when this unit boosts to Vanguard, if you are in Final Rush, you may counterblast 1, and the unit she is boosting gets triple drive. So, yeah guys, it's a triple driving card for Diablos. It's interesting. Did they need that? I don't know, not necessarily. I mean, triple drive is nice. It helps get cards in hand, and, you know, in Overdress, hey, more chances to get your over trigger, which is super cool. But, you know, it's nice. It's a good tech card, if anything. And, you know, because how Diablos plays, it's not completely far-fetched to say if you maybe play only a couple copies of it, and then you soul charge it in by mistake, you're able to actually successfully get it out of the soul with things like Protobulb Dragon, so that's always really nice. So it's a good flex card, I would say. I would definitely not put it up as a 4 of, maybe as a 1 of, maybe as a 2 of, but time will tell when it comes to deck building. It's definitely an interesting card. It's unique and possibly beneficial for the Bruce strategy, but for the long term, not exactly sure. And the last card we're going to be talking about is the triple rare for Diablos Bruce as well, and that is Diablos Jetbacker Leonard. So, Leonard is a very cool card, guys. So Leonard reads, if you are in Final Rush, when this unit would attack, it gets plus 5k until the end of the turn, and it battles all of the rear guards in the same column. So, overall, it is a lightning monster to battle, which is super cool. That in itself helps for more control for Bruce decks, which is nice because as it stands right now, they're a very slow-paced, very tempo-based deck, so they definitely want to be able to try and gain as much momentum as possible and help keep the board state in a sort of control aspect if they can, to be able to push on their Final Rush turn. However, he has a second effect, which is when this unit attack hits, you may soul charge 1, and if you are on Bruce, you may choose up to 1 card from your soul and call it to an open rearguard circle. So guys, this has a very nice sort of pseudo Pale Moon-esque effect, which allows you to do multiple attacks when it comes to cards from your soul, or maybe you have something like a Protobulb Dragon that you want in your to set up, and you call it out from the rearguard circle, and then you're able to use the Protobulb Dragon to grab another guarding resource from your hand, or, you know, maybe you need a specific soul count, so you have something like an Acrobat Presenter inside your soul, so you call that guy out to be able to get you the 5 soul for the Final Rush. So overall, this is a very nice and beneficial card for the Bruce strategy. Again, I'm not entirely too sure if we're going to be playing it in mass quantities, but as it stands right now, for me personally, I definitely do see it as a 4 of. It's definitely a nice card and very flexible when it comes to the overall push power that is Diablos Bruce. So super good card, and I'm excited to see where the rest of the strategy will fall in part with that as well. And yeah guys, that is actually going to do it for the news this week. Overall, I am very excited. All of these cards are kind of what I've been asking for a while. They're not necessarily power creep in the sense that the rest of your cards from the previous set become completely irrelevant, and therefore you have to replace them with the newest cards. There are cards that are a nice addition for the deck and help create a more powerful strategy for your archetype in general, which is nice. As well as the fact that the Heal Guardians are adding more of a sense of flexibility as well, and more defensive potential when it comes to V Premium and Premium as a whole, allowing this sense of being able to slow down the game state and just create more and more fun experiences when it comes to Cardfight Vanguard. Anyway guys, that is going to be doing it for the news this week. What do you think of all of the reveals that have happened? Please let me know in the comments down below. I am definitely curious to see how people are feeling about all this new stuff. I, for one, am very excited, and I'm just excited in general for all of this stuff. Bushiroad, you have been on top of your game with all of these new cards. I am very impressed. Anyway guys, I'm going to be getting out of here. Hope you enjoyed my videos. If you do, as always, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But I will see you guys next time. Deuces!